Sambho Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya Hari Namah Shivaya Hare Hare Sambho Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya Hari Namah Shivaya Hare Hare Sambho Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya Hare Hare Sambho Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya Hare Hare Sambho Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya Hare Hare Sambho Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya Hare Hare Sambho Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya Hare Hare Sambho Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya Hari Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya Hari Namah Shivaya Hare Hare Sambho Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya Hare Hare Sambho Namah Shivaya.
Eyes are closed and be comfortable. Feel yourself comfortable. The way you are sitting, just for a couple of minutes, become aware of the breath. The breath, which is the carrier of prana, the energy. We'll understand philosophically later. Just an awareness of the breath, but you're not changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Let the mind follow the breath with a slow, gentle chanting. The moment the breath comes out, mentally, the mind follows the breath. The moment the breath comes out, you can say, you can speak, aim. Every time the breath comes out, mentally aim, aim. When the breath comes out, aim, aim, aim. Mentally aim, aim. When the breath goes in, you simply follow the breath. You do nothing. You just follow the breath. Aim. First 2 sessions of the meditations are based on Nada Yoga, a branch of Tantra Yoga, which helps us to clear the mind completely by entering into the energy, the body, the intellect, the ego. Now when the breath comes out, you have to chant little louder, but without changing the breath. Aim, aim. When the breath goes in, you are fully aware. When the breath comes out, it is chanting loudly. Aim, Again, breath goes in. Chant loudly. Aim. When the breath comes out, don't wait for me to see. Let your breath come out, you chant aim. We are just understanding the entire process and also doing it so that we can move into the full meditation session. Aim. Every time when the breath comes out, become aware of the conflict the mind also brings. Sometimes it forgets to say that. We need that kind of an awareness. We have to maintain that awareness, but maintain the smile also. Your eyes are closed when the breath comes out. Aim. 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 When the breath comes out, the mind says aim, aim, aim. The way you pronounce the word AIM, aim, but it is a Sanskrit syllable, which is a sign and a center of the wisdom, which represents the non-dual consciousness. Some of you have changed the rate and the rhythm of the breath, but now take a deep breath. Now we are changing the breath. While breathing out, we are also chanting the aim longer. You breathe in deeply. Yes. Take your own breath, take your own time. You're also looking deep inside the head every time you're chanting. Yes, it is coming up. When the breath is going in, chant aim mentally. When the breath comes out, chant aim loudly. Let us see whether the mind goes within. Is it chanting aim when the breath is going in? And when the breath comes out, louder. Mental chanting when the breath is going in, and the moment you start looking deeper within into the space, all the resistance of the body drops down. When the breath comes out, when you are chanting it loudly, with a rhythm, the energy goes up. Again, breathing in, mental aim, breathing out mental loudering. Just do nothing, simple awareness of the breath, just an awareness with no change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath is the first thing we become aware. When the breath comes out, we start chanting little louder with a shorter aim. Aim as if we are dropping the aim outside with a smaller breath. The second aspect. The third aspect is we start looking deep inside our head with every chanting of the aim. Aim, and I look inside. Aim, I look inside. As if I speak your name. Yes, Sherry, Boris, and the same thing, that awareness shifts to the aim, looking deep inside the head. It is present somewhere inside the head. Then we bring the prana, the energy, together. While breathing out, we chant aim loudly. But is longer. When we start chanting mentally, inside and louder outside, there are other permutations and combinations that I will explain to you. Let us prepare our body. Lie down on your back. Now we'll move into this. Lie down on your back, close your eyes, raise both your arms up, bring them behind your head on the floor. You have to do it with awareness, with a smile, in peace. Now breathe in. Start breathing in and stretch both your arms as much as possible. Bring your big toes together. Stretch all the toes. Stretch all the toes. Hold the breath inside. Look deep inside. And mentally, you are chanting aim, aim, aim. Mentally, 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 mentally. We are the Tantra ways are totally different than the traditional meditation practices. And breathe out, release the stretching from the arms, from the legs. Again, breathe in deeply and stretch both your arms. Both your arms are straight. Stretch both your arms little more. Hold the breath inside and start stretching all your toes. Stretch more, 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 and you're chanting aim mentally. Breathe out. Breathe in again. Stretch both your arms. Stretch both your arms. Stretch all your toes. Totally stretch all your toes and look deep inside. You are speedily chanting aim mentally, looking deep inside you as if you are hammering. First we are doing the practice, later we understand, and then we do it. Yoga demands practice first, experience, and then return. And now breathe out. Breathe in and start chanting aim mentally, quickly. Stretch more. You are not holding the breath. Breathing out, you are still chanting aim mentally. And yes. Breathe in deeply. Deep, deep, and stretch both your arms. Stretch both your arms, your feet. Stretch at the peak. you may experience a total stretching in every cell of the body. And breathe out. One more time. Breathe in and stretch, stretch, more, more, more. And breathe out. Bring your hands down near the thighs. Let us do the relaxation practice at the third level. Make you are comfortable. Understand this. That will open the secret of this meditation. Move your awareness and attention slowly all over the head and the neck. And become aware. Move your awareness and attention all over the right arm. Become aware of the right arm. Move your awareness and attention again on the right arm and experience the stillness there. Move your awareness and attention slowly on the left arm, aware of the left arm, awareness of the left arm and the stillness, awareness of the awareness and attention, move it on the right leg. Awareness and stillness. Move your awareness and attention on the left leg and stillness and awareness and stillness there. Let us feel the entire body from the top of the head to the toes and experience awareness. And if I say, move your awareness and attention on the entire body, just become aware of the shape and experience that stillness. Move your awareness and attention slowly inside the body, slowly inside the body. And aspire, I aspire, or I will discover peace within me. I will discover peace within me. Or I become a perfect instrument of the divine. Or I discover the love within me. And breath awareness. Just a breath awareness, you move your awareness on the breath Or if I say you move your awareness and attention slowly on the breath, not only you become aware of the stream of the breath, you're also aware the moment the breath starts going in, the breath starts coming out, going in and 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 coming out. Going in and coming out. Just maintain an awareness of the breath and the state of relaxation, as if we continue the body to be in the state of relaxation. That is all a matter of awareness. The changing the state of the body still maintains the state of relaxation. The breath goes in, look inside the head. The breath comes out, look inside the head. The breath goes in, you look inside the head. The mind wants to go within. The body, which is left in the state of relaxation, which remains in that state of relaxation. The awareness goes within. With the breath going in, awareness comes out with the breath coming out. Breath going in and coming out, looking deep inside the head. Now with every breath going in, mentally say aim. When the breath comes out, aim. Breath goes in, aim. Breath comes out, aim. With the same shorter breath, the breath goes in, aim. Breath comes out, aim. Breath goes in, aim. Breath comes out, aim. Breath goes in, aim. Breath comes out. Aim is a Sanskrit word for the wisdom. When we chant aim, that we may stir. The mind has to withdraw within, but there are different patterns, and we will move our mind into those patterns. Here, body is maintaining that state of relaxation, but the chanting of the aim mentally continues. Our eyes remain closed gently. With your awareness and attention, continue chanting aim mentally, looking deep inside your head with eyes closed, with eyes remain closed. While chanting with every breath going in and out, you may sit up, maybe cross-legged, maybe the legs are straight, your eyes remain closed, you are chanting aim, with every breath going in and out. And now, with eyes remain closed, you may sit up, but continue chanting aim. Chanting aim is more important, and so the dynamic state. Eyes remain closed. Acquire the comfortable position. The body is relaxed. It should remain. Yes. Eyes remain closed. Continue chanting, looking deep inside your head, looking deep inside your head. Let the change in the position of the body should not disturb our mental consciousness. The mind continues looking deep inside the forehead, with every breath going in, aim. With every breath coming out, aim. Wisdom. And now with every breath going in, looking deep inside, aim. With every breath coming out, you mentally chant aim. If your awareness and attention is moving with the breath inside the head into the space, you will not experience any discomfort in the body. We are just practicing it. We want to know it. Can we transcend the body? We are more concerned about transcending the body than to keep the body in a comfortable state. And then now we take the help of the prana. The moment you speak loudly any word, the prana and the mind goes together. Every breath coming out, looking outside, aim. Little louder. Aim. 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 Now breathe a little deeper. As you breathe in deeply, you look deep inside and mentally chant aim. As you breathe out, chant louder, longer, and deeper with every breath going in. The watchword is that your breath should have a uniform movement. And if the breath is moving uniformly, the body will remain still on its own. You're breathing in deeply, deeply, deeply. Yes, now you start chanting loudly, longer. You're not in a hurry, you breathe in deeply, you're looking deep inside, you're taking time. Breath is again going deeper silently, and the mental chanting continues, looking deep inside, with every breath coming out. Continue breathing in deeply. Key to the stillness in the body lies in your deep, silent, and slow breathing. It is rhythmic, it is with love. Now you are chanting mentally when the breath is going in, as if you are dropping deep down. You're dropping your mind deep down into the forehead, chanting mentally. When the breath is coming out, you are chanting Aim mentally. It is both mental with a deep, silent and slow breathing. If you are keeping your attention deep inside the forehead at any point, the body won't move. Let us try, we are practicing, we are experiencing. And after this, we'll go into the final way of doing this practice. Mental chanting with a deep breathing, looking deep inside the forehead. Looking deep inside the forehead. Just looking deep inside the forehead. What happens when you're looking deep inside the forehead with the breath going in and coming out? Even if other thought comes, they do not disturb you. In turn, they do not move the body. On the other hand, any movement in the body is from the mind. Mind is losing the interest. And then we bring the mind back again. Looking deep inside the forehead and chanting Aim mentally when the breath is going in and also when the breath is coming out. When the breath is going in, when the breath is coming out. Breath is going in, the breath is coming out. Breath is going. Breath is coming out, and with every breath going in, the chanting. The breath is deep, silent and slow. Looking deep inside the forehead, mind is chanting Aim. When it is chanting Aim, it is looking deep down, the infinite space within. The infinite space within, looking deep inside. Looking deep inside, there is no movement. Well, we are not restricting the movement. We are paying the attention on the breath, and the body starts freezing down. A good sign. Breathing. Yes. Breathing. In, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Now chanting only when the breath is coming out. And when the breath is going in, you're looking deep inside the forehead. You're looking deep inside as if the awareness and attention is going deep. With every breath coming out, mental chanting of the Aim. The mind is fully aware. It is not focusing every time the breath goes in. It starts looking at the head inside. Choose any point. Let every time, even the point in the forehead may change. It doesn't matter. Tantra is very liberal in that way. But the moment the breath goes in, you look inside. It may be the emptiness or the dark space, but every time it comes out, there is a mental chanting of the return to the normal chanting of the aim. The breath goes in aim. Breath comes out aim. Breath goes in aim. Comes out aim. Gently allow the mind to take over the body with that gentle chanting of the aim without changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath. You may lie down on the back. Continue with aim chanting. But continue your awareness on the aim. Now I want you to be aware of the mind and the energy consciousness together. Now we have removed even the hurdle of the mind. The breath is going in aim. breath is coming out, aim. When the breath goes in, the mind says, aim, aim, 2 times, without making any noise. When the breath comes out, the mind is saying, aim, 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 aim. With every breath, the mind is chanting aim 2 times, looking inside the head. When the breath comes out, the mind is saying aim 2 times. Focus, mind, awareness is on the chanting of the aim, on the breath, inside the forehead. And then one actually do not need to worry. The mind will not go to the body. We are practicing it. The breath goes in, looking deep inside. Mentally you are chanting 2 times, aim, aim. Even if at present your mind has gone somewhere, return, take your mind back. Still there is a time. Even if the mind is still concerned about the body, still there is a time. The breath goes in as if the breath is chanting the aim 2 times. When it is going in, it is chanting aim 2 times when the breath is coming out. the breath is gentle, the breath and the aim goes together. And now the breath, 3 aim when the breath is going in, and 3 aim when the breath comes out. It is not fast. You are not holding the breath. Every time you chant aim when the breath is going in, as if you're hammering the middle of the forehead or at any point on the forehead, your mind drops down within and it stops any movement of the body. That is quite amazing. You have to pay more attention there. And every time the breath comes out, 3 times aim chanting. But you're looking deep inside. You may experience some colors or visions, be with it. That is normal in this meditation. times when the breath goes in, when the breath comes out, a sense of absorption. You're maintaining that awareness, and as if the body is left outside, you're already deeper within. There is no condition, but if you can chant aim 5 times with every breath going in, with every breath coming out, no effort. The moment you see any effort is there, you can continue with the 3 times. But if you are chanting 5 times, with every breath going in, and the breath is deep, it is silent, it is easy. Yes, if it is easy, you are moving into the next phase of meditation. But if it is effortful, unease, you may not feel any hesitation in the breath by chanting 5 times the word aim, looking deeper down into the forehead. When the breath comes out, you chant aim 5 times. When it comes out, looking into the space, And doing nothing. Remain as you are. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Take your time, just simply an awareness on the right hand and awareness on the left hand. Take your own time. Bring your both the palms over the eyes slowly. Open the eyes inside. Experience the state you're in. Bring your hands down, and you may sit up. Without any discomfort or unease, if one can chant aim, maybe 5 or 7 times, body, even if it is very painful, it will not move. It will maintain its stillness. We will do, but on the other hand, it helps your mind to move consciously deeper within. Objective of this retreat is the self-discovery. If the tree and the seed both are conscious, and if the tree looks at the seed, oh no, how can I grow so big from you? Not possible. And if you look at the seed, how the tree can become, how the seed can grow into a big tree. But still, if the seed discovers the tree in itself, it can become a tree. But the problem for the seed is, if one discovers the tree, the seed has to die. And the death of that seed is nothing but, we call it sowing the seed, nurturing it, fencing when there is a sapling, protecting it, giving the seed a right environment until it becomes a tree. The entire journey of meditation is like that. A seed within us is a potential that we want to change our life. We want to bring a transformation. We are not happy with the present life. We are running. Mind is running, it goes into anxiety, repeated level of the stress. And still we are not able to understand what is to be done. So I doubt my entire life. What's happening? I have changed people in my relationship. I have changed profession. I have changed my food hundreds of times. I have changed my clothes. I have tried every effort with the money. But still the peace has not come. Doubting our own life also begins the journey. The doubt becomes an ointment. The doubt becomes, it inspires us. Let me discover what is deep within me. And that begins the self-discovery. Self-discovery is the aim of all meditations. I may say awakening, you may say awakening, so I'm coming to that and I'll help you to understand in brief. Not too much of philosophy, we'll move again into the meditation. When I say discovery, what is this discovery and why discovery? Why discovery? If you are happy all the time, if you live, move and act into peace, if you are living in harmony, there is no need for discovery. Where lies the question of discovery? I have no problems in my life. No need to discover. I have no anxiety, no stress. That is one way to discover. Whether it is in my personal life, whether it is in relationship, whether it is in profession, anywhere. If I see the life and I see, yes, I am not happy and contented. There is no happiness within, there is no peace within. That is one way to understand that we should discover ourselves, and that is the subject of meditation. Another way to understand meditation or the spirituality, or taking a spiritual path, that what is the purpose of this life? You ask yourself, what is the aim of my life? Where I am going? How I am going? So Buddha took that noble truth from this authentic yoga tradition, which is known as Heya Hetu Han Hanupaya. I'm just giving a brief of the concept, and we'll talk in little detail in the evening and the last session after the dinner. Heya Hetu Han Hanupaya. 4 Sanskrit words starts from H. Heya, what is the word is full of suffering. I move in love, but still I get hatred. Maybe majority of the people may say, I always move in peace, but what happens? Why the other is not moving in peace with me? What is the problem? The world is full of the suffering. That is meaning of the Heya. Hetu, what is the cause of this suffering? Where lies the cause? Are you responsible for my sorrow and happiness, or I am responsible for my sorrow and happiness? Whether he is responsible or whether she is responsible for my sorrow and happiness. Whether money is responsible. So, that is what brings the second level of awareness in understanding the purpose of life. The third is the Han. That is the most important declaration, assertion by the authentic yoga tradition, because the meditation originally was discovered, invented and perfected in the authentic yoga tradition, which is 6,000 years old. What is that assertion? What the yoga asserts? It says there is a state in life, there is a state of consciousness in life, which is beyond all the problems and suffering. A simple assertion, a simple declaration. Can I move into that? How to move into that? That becomes the fourth, the Hanopaya. It says there are many, many practices to move into that state. And during these 6,000 years, thousands of the practices have been evolved, experimented, and perfected. But question again comes, doubt comes, how can I not be enlightened the way Buddha got enlightenment, the way the Krishna got, the way the Jesus got, the way the Moses, the way the great masters got? So we want to become the follower. We want to replicate and duplicate the same practices. The replication and duplication is not possible in meditation at all. Why it is not possible? Have you seen, and we all agree, that 6.5 billion people, every individual is unique in spite of the similarities, Doctor. In spite of everything is same. Our physiological, biological, anatomical, majority, it is everything. We have all 2 eyes, 2 ears, legs and feet and extremities, but still, every individual is unique. But when you look at the Ford car, you can find the same car anywhere in the world. So science duplicates everything, it replicates. Even if the Ford car is unique, even if the BMW or Mercedes are unique, but still we can create the same copies. But can you create the same copies of human beings? Even our children are unique in their way. What is the reason behind it? This creator creates unique individuals, unique species. It does not create duplicates. Meditation discovers that original self in all of us. So we can follow the path. You can follow what I am guiding. You can continue the practices. The time comes, the awakening will take place. You will start your own journey. You will start in your own journey. And once, if you are not original in the discovery of yourself, you simply become a follower, you miss the whole understanding of meditation. Then obviously you even miss what exactly is meditation. The self-discovery, it means I have to discover within me that self. But why to discover within me? Let me discover you, and by discovering you, I understand you, so I can replicate the same thing on me. If I understand your mind, can I understand my mind? No. If I understand the phenomena of the nature, yes, I can understand the science. But if I understand you, can I understand myself? And I see you in stress, and I see that you are stressed because of the money. So yes, it means I should not also go after money because money gives me the stress. But it is not possible. That attitude, that craving, that desire varies from individual to individual. There are millions of permutation and combinations which the consciousness manifests through our mind in making us an individual, in making us as a unique individual. A painter looks at the tree, his perception of a tree is totally different than a biologist looks at the tree. Then a poet looks at the tree, or then a person who loves the nature looks at the tree. My consciousness, my mind, has totally a different perception. And that is how one likes the red color, the other likes green, the third likes third color. What is this? Can we understand a little bit with the philosophically? Understand this, pick up, and then we will move that what we are doing in these three, in 2 days. Whatever is created by the human being, whatever it is created, first, it is not the perfect instrument. Secondly, in one or the other way, it violates the very existence. It goes against the existence. And that's why recently we saw even the flood and the storm and the twister. There are many reasons behind it. I'm talking about creation. Why self-discovery? The simple principle, yoga says, the creator creates and enters into it after creation. If I say the seed becomes the tree, and at last the tree again becomes the seed. That is the whole principle. The self is within all of us. It is the same. It is the creator. It is what yoga say that it is the God of all the religions. It is the God of all the cult dogma, belief. But in yoga we say, can we approach that self consciously? Can we discover that state or that self which is a pure consciousness in us? The self is given many names. 2 names I like it. The one name it says Sat Chit Anand. Existence, consciousness, bliss. The self is the nature of existence. That means the truth consciousness. It is the nature of the pure consciousness, and it is also the nature of eternal happiness. Further, it manifests into leap also. Love, energy, awareness, and peace. So I'm not going in this retreat to what is existence, what is consciousness, what is bliss, how to attain that. But if we achieve the peace, awareness, energy, and the love that we try to manifest, we live into it 24 hours. Can we enter into it in these 2 days? Can we really understand, not only intellectually, mentally, experientially, so that our personal life takes the about turn. We drop all those inhibitions which are creating issues, problems, duality, and conflict in our life. One, and we can move to the meditation. So if I say discover yourself or self-discovery, let us discover the peace, love, energy, and awareness in this meditation session and in this meditation retreat. But question is how to discover that. You might have heard the concept of Trinity, which is present in all the traditions of the world. And I'm oversimplifying it. There are 3 levels of transformation one should undergo in order to reach to the final goal of meditation. You can sit on the chair. No problem, you can sit on the chair. What are these 3 transformations? How we can understand these in a very simple, easy way. And we start applying those 3 principles into our life. The Patanjali says it is a 3 transformation. Patanjali says it is 3 transformation. To further put it simply, the 3 transformations are known as Ekagra Parinam, we say, then Niruddha Parinam, then Samadhi Parinam. You have heard about the Samadhi, which is the last stage, but before Samadhi, how we can enter into the deeper state of meditation, which is the middle term, which is known as Niruddha Parinam, and the first one is known as the Ekagra Parinam, the 3 states. How we can understand, again in a simpler way, and that is what we are doing. In a simple way we can understand, we can say purification. The Americans are very much after now detoxification. We talk about detoxification of the body, we talk about detoxification of the mind. What about detoxification of the soul? Can we detoxify our soul? Or is the soul really toxified? So we use those words, yes. They might have come from the basic principles. The soul is already pure, so it remains pure, it cannot be detoxified. You can sit on the chair, we'll start again. And the third, the second process, first is the purification, or you can say sensitization. We will understand what is this purification slowly before breaking up this, having a break for the next session. The second, we can say, after purification, what is left? When you clean your house completely, what is left? Have you ever thought of it? When you clean your car, what do you feel? When you take a bath, what do you feel? That is the second step. That everything, now you become more aware of it. After purification, you know what it is. The third is, once you have purification, second is you have a total awareness of that layer of the existence, you can enter into an awakening. But further down, I simplify. In all these meditation practices, you start from being something. We are something. So when you confine your territory what you are, say for example, you say, no, I'm a chairman of this organization. Good? So now you confine your territory. What does it mean by the chairman? While sitting at home, if I speak I'm the chairman of this organization, every person in your family will start laughing. So I become more aware. This is what I call a one process of detoxification. You don't know who am I. You see that expression coming from the mind? You look into the mirror and you say how beautiful and handsome I am. Have you seen? Is that beauty also present deeper within you? Is there also a beauty of the mind which moves in peace all the time? Is there a beauty of emotion which moves in love all the time? So yoga moves instantly, and these are known as a simple way of purification, the first step of meditation and all those practices. I'll explain you. The second is from something you become nothing. How you become nothing? Just by becoming aware. I am the chairman. But yes, that is only a designation and label. And the moment you become aware of that label, your I-ness drops. You need not to do anything. You see that meditation becomes so simple. But many people come and say, oh, I have a lot of ego and I have to manage my ego, I have to control my ego. There is no need to control or no need to manage it. The moment you are aware of that, you are not there. I am at home. What is the fun of saying and declaring myself that I am the boss of my organization? Say, for example, I'm at home. Let me become aware. You drop it. You drop it. Yes, we may say, out of women or maybe the man, they say, no, I'm your husband. What do you think? Let the wife say, yes. There is no question of thinking. You are. But the tone, but the identification, but the I-ness needs to be dropped. Or, I'm the wife. Don't you know that I'm the wife? How dare you do this thing? We are dictating an authority. This again is dropped into the second process of becoming nothing. If anybody says, yes, I'm the boss, yes, you're not only my boss, but you're boss of the entire world. There is no problem. I accept you fully. But when you do it with awareness, there is no problem. And when it comes to you, let me drop it. From something to the nothing. From nothing, you are everything. Another way to understand, first step in all practices, in all traditions, prepares the foundation for some kind of a purification. When I say speak, do not talk, don't you see that we are now breaking a limit of this mind? We are saying, oh, mind, understand this limit. There is no use of talking unnecessarily. There is a need to speak only what is essential. And I tell you frankly, when it is my own experience, if you speak everywhere, even if you speak only in relationship, at least you are happy, and after some time you make others also happy. But if you talk with reference to the past. You speak with reference to the present. There is only a slight difference between the two, but that difference is really great. Recently, what happened a couple of days, the person came and he declared that, oh, you are great. I said, I don't need any label that I am great. I know who am I. That's enough for me. But do you remember and do you know why you talk like this, that the other person is great? Why we say that? Can I become aware within? Can I become aware within? Why I say the other person is not good? Can I become aware of that? And the easiest way is to speak, do not talk. Speak, do not talk. If you talk, you always say, he is good, he is right, he is wrong, she is good, she is crazy, she doesn't understand, he doesn't understand. But you speak, there is no question of any duality and a conflict. It is all at the mental level I am explaining you. Also at the emotional level, there are other ways. So I'll give some references. And the third, awakening takes place. Awakening means allow the awakening to take place. You cannot create an awakening. You cannot help yourself to wake up from sleep. Even if you fix the time, that is totally different. But the moment you wake up, the entire world now exists for you. And moment before, there is no world for you. You are in deep sleep. There is no world for you. Awakening. So, follow to the awakening. Don't try to create. What happens when you create an awakening? Many people say, I had a vision of the Jesus. And I look it. I see the vision, I communicate with him, and I get all the orders of my life. So I asked that fellow who is here, I don't want to name it, not here, but in New Jersey. I said, why don't you take one order from me also? Get me $1 billion from the Jesus. These are all visions. Remember, in meditation and authentic yoga tradition, they may help us, but they are simply vision. They are simply vision. Another woman comes, and I know that Jesus is guiding me all the time to create my destiny. I said, why don't you leave on him to create your destiny? Why you are making an effort? When he is saying you to create a destiny, let him create the destiny for you. So as long as our experience, that the vision and the experiences that we have within is different from what we are not in meditation. We are not in meditation at all. But it does not mean that those visions are not helpful. They are helper and they are a barrier. If they stick to it, if you stick to them, there is a young boy who comes to me from Pennsylvania, and he writes to me almost 10 pages of long emails. Today I had a vision of this God, and then I experimented what happens to his mind. And then one day I said, here is a goddess Durga. And I gave totally a different mantra. That's how I work, which is not in tune with the goddess Durga. And I said, no, this is a mantra for the goddess, and this is the goddess Durga. If you chant like this, if you chant 2,000 times every day for 30 days, it will bring the result. And the result was there because of his belief. But the best part was that I could break his previous conditioning. He was moving towards being a bipolar patient. Because on the intervention of his parents, I went to the hospital also to see him in the St. Mary Hospital. They said, what you are doing, it doesn't help. I said, no, you are not doing. I know how it can help. So the same way, sometimes you break those conditionings. You need to break those conditionings. Now coming back again from something to nothing and from nothing to everything. What is that something? We have 6 neighbors. We have 6 neighbors. The outermost neighbor is what we call the world outside. You close your eyes, there is no world. You are in deep sleep. This world neither belongs to you nor accepts you. Like this, the 5th neighbor is your body. I am the body, or I am the body. It is a part of ignorance. What it means by purification? Purification means a very simple and easy awareness that I am within the body. Body is not within me. If the body is not within me, even if I ask you to sit up for 3 hours, you will not be disturbed. But because we have an ignorance that I am the body and the body is within me, therefore the body disturbs me. This result doesn't disturb you because it is not within you. In deep sleep, the body doesn't disturb you, even if you have a pain because you have become totally unconscious. Like this, we have the breath. We have breath as the 5th neighbor, 4th neighbor. The mind as a 3rd neighbor. The 2nd, then we talk about I-ness, and the 5th neighbor we talk about as a pleasure and the passion and the enjoyment, and beyond that, there is a self. I'll give a brief introduction of this, coming back to the most important thing, the thinker. All tradition speaks. What it speaks, meditation is going beyond mind, but I'm still speaking. It is coming from my mind. What I should do with this thinker. If I have to give you instructions, it has to be with the thought. What should I do? How can I do it without thinking? Yeah. If there is a thinker in me, there is a listener in you. Listener is also a part of thinking. But all meditation says, say an example, it says, Nirvishayam muktayam muktayi manah. When there is no object in the mind, then the meditation is. Another master defines the meditation, tatra pratiktanata dhyanam. When the mind becomes totally empty, the ultimate goal of meditation is reached. But when there is no content in the mind, question is how to follow that practice of meditation. Where to begin? What to do? At least, Boris put up the advertisement of intensive meditation retreat. He sent you all the emails. Then you have come. It is also a part of the thought, thinking. You have never asked. I'm asking you this same question on your behalf. Have you ever asked this question to me? Why you are teaching then? All the teaching comes from your thinking. You are the thinker. I'm the listener. Where comes then why you are teaching it all? Let us say goodbye and go back. Now, if meditation is going beyond the mind, what is all this? All the masters says the same thing. No, you have to transcend the mind, you have to transform the mind, you have to go beyond the mind. What is this thinker? Maybe many people says, sometimes many women also says that, yes, I understand what you're saying, but when I go home, nothing works. You see that? The same thing with the husband also. It's the same on the same. It's the same with the children also. Oh, nothing works. The thinker returns. You say, you are right. But what happens when you return home? You say, I am right. Then you don't say that he is right. You see that. This happens. This happens. Question is how to move with this thinker. How to move with this thinker. That is very important. And if there is any impure thought, if there is a pure thought, what is that impure thought? What is that pure thought? If we understand this, so let us understand this from the spiritual text of yoga. What is pure thought and what is impure thought? The thought is a word, is a matter. It has less value to be qualified as a pure or impure. Any thought that takes your mind out is an impure thought. Any thought that takes your mind within you, deeper within you, the time comes when even the thought drops. That's why even in infatuation, in passion, in pleasure, the thought is no more. We are moving with that intense attachment. We are moving with that intense pleasure, intense passion. That becomes more powerful than any thought. Yes? When we talk in terms of a passion, the passion is not good. We definitely talk about as a thinker. You understand? Do you agree with me? Yes? As a pleasure and a passion, as a craving, we say, no, this is not good. But when I'm in a fit of craving, the thinker can't control it. You understand what I'm saying? Then it becomes very difficult to control. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah? So what is pure thought? Pure thought means any thought that takes your mind inside is the pure thought. Any thought that brings your mind outside is the impure thought. Take an example. You come and say, you are a good teacher. And I'm influenced by that. Yes, I'm a good teacher. So even your saying of good thing about me, it becomes an impure thought. This is another definition. Any thought that is influencing you coming from outside is an impure thought. Any thought. And you don't accept, you create a wall. That is the first step. Be something. Yes, I'm something after all. Why should I be influenced by you? Whether you say right or wrong, whether you say up and down, and you see the life changes within a moment. Life changes within a moment. Don't you see that? So pure thought and impure thought, understand, that is the very clear definition that any thought that influences you, that is coming from outside. And somebody says, oh, you are a crazy guy? How come I'm crazy? You are already influenced. No, you are missing the whole point. Somebody is spitted on Buddha. That is an extreme case, but we can at least hope to achieve something different in our life. Somebody spitted on Buddha's face, and his disciples stood up and said, no, cool down. He is not able to express himself. He wanted to say something. He is in a fit of anger. That's why he spitted. The next day he came and prostrated. He was seeking forgiveness from Buddha. Buddha said, you set up what you were yesterday. You are not today. To whom I should give forgiveness? understand the thinker from the thinker point of view. I'm asking you, if you want to transform your life, your thinker has to be replaced. Then only you become a good and a great meditator. I'm using another word. And that's what a couple of very secret texts talks about that. You see the expression of the Buddha. There is another story that one sent Karahim Hariko Ghateo Bhragamari Lat. The same incident comes when the one teacher who realized the God, it's a parable, then he hit that God with his feet. In turn, the God is saying, it doesn't matter me whether you have hit me with your leg, because there is no difference between you and me. Not at all. So by hitting me with your feet, you are hitting yourself. Can I identify myself with that? The thinker. But why it does not happen? Question is why it does not happen in me. We should also understand, with a smile on the face, our thinker, we use a thinker by default. What is default? How this thinker developed in us? What? Do you remember what phrase or the word used by you for the first time as a thinker? Do you know that? What is that first word? What is that first phrase? What is the first word that you have learned? Mom, Dad, whatever you want to say. The thinker is outside to address one woman as a mom. The thinker by default is always moves outside. It never looks within. Why? The thinker by default always moves in fear, always moves in anxiety, always moves in stress, always moves in duality. This thinker itself is an ignorance, itself is the stress. It creates the fear, it creates the anxiety, it creates the duality, it creates the conflict. Thinker by default will say, oh, how come you are insulting me? Even if I see you or any pose and the thinker by default. I need to replace this thinker. Then the meditation becomes a practice from moment to moment. What we need to, how we do it. Thinker by default is always guided by SAM. S-A-M. I call it a SAM. Sex, authority, and money. Sex in yoga, we say, the Sanskrit word is known as kam. The kam does not refer only to the physical sex. The kam also refers to the mind wants to do the sex with the food. It has a craving for the food. So that's how it is defined. That craving, that possession, attitude of possessing it, is the idea of the entire sex in yoga. It is not only the physical relationship alone between two. No. It says that this is very small, this is nothing. But every time that thinker by default moves in the world, Can you tell me how many times your thinker in you actually thinks of the peace during the 24 hours? And how many times thinker by default thinks of the anxiety, the duality, the problem, and the suffering? Don't you see the percentage is 99% thinker by default, 1%. If somebody, maybe I meet you, then you say, okay, yes, I have to live in peace. Otherwise, 99% the thinker is by default. Oh, you don't understand? Thinker by default. Let me understand you. Thinker is replaced. Why you behave like this? Let me understand you. Can I understand your thought, your what you are saying me? I have started changing mine. But if other do not understand, withdraw yourself. Let the thinker by the default should calm down, remain silent. Let the thinker become the silent and see what happens. At least you are not harming yourself, you are not harming others. Coming back, this thinker by default is the main culprit. You lie down, the thinker by default says, no, after 5 minutes, thinker by default comes here. No, I feel something. Thinker by default says, I need a glass of water before I do meditation. Thinker by default says, it moves every time in anxiety and stress because of the SAM. The second is the authority, the prestige, the feeling of recognition. We all have that ego. We all have. This all have means this guy is also included, not separated at all. I'm talking of the humanity. The moment we experience any problem with our recognition going down, we take a very strong position. How dare you say this? We had some incident with some, probably the realtor or the attorney with the Boris who wanted to buy. So at last we decided, I said, no, drop this $1,000. If it is gone, then gone. No way. So it is not the thinker by default. So you should start finding, withdrawing yourself at every moment in your life. At every moment in your life. Then comes the money. Money does not mean only the hard cash. It means the possessions. It also means the clothes that I put on. It means whatever I want to possess. I want to possess this wealth. In India, in those days, we used to say, this palace is also a wealth. The house I live in is wealth. The clothes, the jewelries, which is also a part of the wealth, besides that cash. And when you have a big ego, you say your prestige and your recognition is also a wealth. Coming back again, thinker by default, how to change that thinker by default? What should we do? And there comes what I was talking about, the self-discovery. For the last almost 20 years, I have changed that phrase. Initially, I was moving more towards the phrases used in the spirituality, but now I am moving more towards the experiential, or discover within you love, energy, awareness, and peace. Let the thinker, if it is guided by the peace, love, energy, and awareness all the time, in all relationship, you have started the first step in changing the thinker by default to a new thinker. And then you need not to come to a retreat, because the very thinker will inspire you to take you into the meditation. You see, Ashadhayah Shanti Vanaspatayah Shanti Shanti Repa. Let all the plant kingdom be in peace. Can I send a message of the peace to all the plants? As a conscious thinker, the thinker by default will always oppose it. Can I send a message of the peace the morning I get up to the members of my family, to everyone in this world? But how to do that? For example, I have problem with you, so how can I do it? The moment I send the message of the peace, my thinker by default remembers all the problems that I have with you. How to do it? From where to start? That is one of the major reasons why people in the past in India went to the Himalayas. Let me start working, passing on the message of the peace to the plant, to the sky, to the mountains, to the river. Why? To clean my mind, to purify my mind. And that is one of the major reasons of importance of the living in the Himalayas. No, at least you cannot fight with the river. You cannot fight with the Himalayas. So if you send the message of the peace and gradually expanding your mind, use 4 things. Sit there in the break and see, as a thinker, peace to the river. Become aware of the peace, peace to the river. Become aware of the energy of the river. Can you become one with it? Can you send love? It is very difficult in the beginning to send those messages even to our spouse, even to our relations. But that is the one reason that the thinker needs to be replaced. That is not only one reason, but one of the major reasons to change that thinker. Now coming again practically, your mind says, I'm tired. Thinker by default. And you consciously think of the peace. So we have thousands of mantras for that. That is why we speak about asato ma satagamaya, moving from the falsehood to the truth is yoga. That is why we say Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You see, after every phrase we talk about let there be peace, peace and peace. You see, the entire literature, 1,000 texts, is full of all those mantras. Ya Devi Shanti Rupena Sanstita Namastasyai, 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 Namo Nama. What it says? That Goddess, you Goddess, dwell in me as a peace consciousness. And that is why I worship you. I don't worship you as if I belong to any cult, any dogma I believe. See the beauty of it. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Lakshmi Rupena Sanstita. You, it is a goddess of wealth, dwell deeper within me. That is why I worship you. What about you all? You all, as God and goddesses, dwell deeper within me. That is why I worship you. We all are equal. We replace the thinker by default to a new thinker. Where lies the problem? That is why this thinker has to be replaced constantly. In different traditions, people talk about compassion, love. So when we go to the religious places, you say, yes, I give love to everybody. When you come out of it, thinker by default comes. Forget about it. Let me go to my home and do my work. No. We have to replace this thinker by default. I think प्रेरणा ये सबको एक एक दे देना. We will talk continuously. ये एक एक दे देना सबको. Let us एक एक दे देना सबको. Let us stand up. हाँ. Now इसके बाद. Let us stand up. I don't want you to be tired from the thinker by default, but instead stretch. Interlock all the fingers of both your hands. Turn it down. Raise both your arms up. Both your feet together. Stretch. Stretch more. 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 Little more. Stay there. Close your eyes. Your heels are together. Start breathing deep, silent and slow. Smile on the face, stillness in the body, and work on your mind. Replace the thinker by default. Thinker by default says, I feel pain. Let the new thinker say, yes, I'm in peace. Let the peace take care of this pain. Let us see, why not try here and now? Let there be a new thinker, here and now. The thinker by, if you say that, no, I experience pain, this is thinker by default. A thinker which is purely a part of the spiritual consciousness can never imagine even of the pain. They say, oh, pain is a part of ignorance. Move both your arms on the right side, from the waist, a little more, the elbows are straight, and again, start breathing deep, silent and slow. Deep, silent and slow. And thinker by default should be replaced. Work here and now, not at your own experience at home will come later, please. Your stillness is there, total stillness. And I think those who have attended my physical classes, now you can understand that I want to replace your thinker by default to a new thinker. So I'm working on you through the physical practices to take you to the spiritualities, but silently. The moment the mind says there is a pain, you have to replace it. Move the body on the left side. Yes, I know. Thinker by default may say I'm giving you more pain. No. I'm helping you to know there's something, to become nothing. That something says what? Something says I have a problem in the body, I feel the pain, I cannot do it. Not possible. You can do everything. You have that potential. The smile is there on the face. The moment the mind says you feel the pain, replace it with the peace. I'm in peace, and this pain is taking me to the peace. Use all arguments mentally, but with love, with awareness, and you will see the change. You will see the difference. That there is a difference here and now. And I could see that the stillness. So you are not hesitating. The thinker by default reacts. So I'm aware. Let the thinker say, yes, I'm in peace. This pain is taking me to the peace. Tell your thinker by default, you were just complaining, you were moving your body when you were sitting. Now what happened to you? Bring both the arms in the middle. Move, eyes are open. Move both the arms at the back. More. So I'm helping you not only to stretch, to get ready, but also just an experiment. Om Ho Shanti. There's a long list. It says, let there be peace. Let the peace go to the earth. Let the peace go to the sky. Let the peace go to the earth. Let peace go to everybody. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. There are thousands of phrases. Are you aware of yourself? There should be a smile on your face, deep breathing into the belly. Let the peace, the thinker, a new thinker take birth in you. Let the new thinker should say, yes, yes, yes. Let the new thinker in you say, you don't listen to the thinker by default. That is something. You create something out of the nothing. That let the peace be there. Bend forward. Bend forward. Bring both the arms down near the toes, near the feet. The head is down. And stay there. Slow, deep and silent breathing. Stillness in the body. Smile is there on the face. The thinker by default will say, no, I feel too much of stretching and pain around your thighs and the knees. No. So you replace it by the new thinker. Let the pain. Now I'm moving into that peace. I'm leaving you. No way that you react. You hesitate. Any anxiety, pain, suffering comes from the thinker by default. But the new thinker will say, yes, the stretching is good, is opening up all the joints. Let me move into the peace by continue to do these practices. And slowly return. Sit down. Sit down. Take this one by. No, I think let the prerna will offer you one by one. Sit down. Sit in a comfortable posture, please. We extend this session little, maybe 20 minutes more, and then we'll have our break after that. Just sit. Sit the way you want to sit. The way you want to sit. You want to sit while stretching your legs forward, cross leg. You want to sit on your heels. You want to sit on the chair, whatever is you feel. You know, that setting will come. The last meditation session we did it. Let me give you an amazing example. There is one person, I think nobody here met. Yes, the Barbara's friend, Chanchal, met him. And it is possible. There are 700 verses in one text of our spirituality. 700 verses, that means around 100 pages. 100 pages. So if you see 100 pages in English, if you are given that book, can you read all the 100 pages in 20 minutes? But well, if you can read it in 20 minutes, you can also go into a deeper meditation. The other way. Thinker by default says no. It says no. And that is how we accept the authority of the text to practice and to experience. This guy, I also did it. I reached about 30-35 minutes. Prerna also did it. It takes about 3.5 hours. She does it in 1 hour and a couple of minutes. That is possible. So when I said you just another 20 or 25 minutes, then we'll have a break. It's okay? Or you want to take a break now? No? No break at all? Until 6? So take this. So you see that you put the middle finger and the thumb, it moves, and the index finger you move it. You see that? You move with the index finger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it moves like this. There are 27 beads in this. The Indians are very particular. Either they will keep the 27 beads, 54, 108. These are the few numbers that they take care. You know that, you see that? You move it. Now I'm using this bead as to bring the body, mind, and the breath together. Eyes are open. The moment the breath goes in, you move your index finger and move one bead. The moment the breath comes out, you move another bead. But do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Can you do it? Just do it. The moment the breath goes in, move the bead. The moment the breath comes out, move the bead. The moment the breath goes in, the moment the breath comes out. But no change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. And if you can do it, the first step of mastery over the mind in a very subtle way begins. And that is what we did in the first step of first meditation practice from the Tantra. And that's just, it withdraws the mind. When it withdraws the mind, the thinker by default drops down. Christine has done this practice at my home, so in a different way. So we drop the thinker by default. But if I say, no, let me help you drop your anxiety, you will say, no, you cannot do it. But what I'm asking you, you have to use those indirect means to do it. Keep a smile on the face. So continue. Now, you start with the same. You may put this bead anywhere with eyes closed. Oh, have you taken Oksana? You have these beads? No. Oh. No. She came just now. So what you do? You're the same thing. First, one time, aim. With every breath going in and out, aim. So when you experience the mind is withdrawing within, you feel the stillness in the body, then you start 2 times. One breath, aim. One breath comes out, aim. When you experience the breath has become deeper on its own and calming effect, then you do 3 times. And maybe you can do 5 times. We'll spend only a couple of minutes. Close your eyes. Adjust every part of the body. Be comfortable. So when I'm asking you be comfortable, I'm replacing the thinker by default to a new thinker. Eyes are closed. Now start. The moment the breath goes in, the index finger moves and the mind says aim. But the moment the breath comes out, aim. If you make the mistake, there is no mistake. Again, it is the thinker by the default has entered within you. So you need not to worry. You start again. In, out. In, out. In, out. Continue. In, out. Your eyes are closed, you are looking mentally to the beat. You introduce something new, which the mind feels it has not done before. And that is what we are doing. A very simple and a very effective meditation practice. Anytime you can do it. The breath goes in. The moment the breath goes in, your index finger touches the bead, passes, and again when the breath comes out, you have to check the very subtle difference. At this moment, the mind follows the breath. When the mind follows the breath, it becomes aware of the something. It is also known as the purification, detoxification, cleansing. But if you don't do this, you cannot settle into the next step. That is the key. Thinker by default says, oh, I can do it. I have done this for years together. And you are not settled into it. I have seen thousands of people claim, but they are not settled. Now, 2 times. Now the breath follows the mind. Breath is very gentle. Now our entire thinker, so-called thinker, moves to the breath. The breath becomes little longer. And when the breath is going in, you chant aim 2 times. When the breath comes out, you chant aim 2 times. Continue. You're looking. Maybe you can look at the beat, you can look deep inside your head, anywhere you like. It works as something that ekagra parinam. We are moving from the outer world to the body, that is the 5th layer of our existence. So what happens by this? As I discussed earlier, at present, we experience that I am within the body and body is also within me. And that is why a disturbance in the body makes you say that yes, I am totally disturbed, as if you are the body. But when you are doing it, from the 2 times further down, you are dropping that experience coming from the mind who declares that body is within me. No. Yes, it may happen sometime you may miss. Why you miss? Simply understand it comes from the thinker by default, who is the sum of anxiety, problem, worries, and which is the giver of all the problems. So don't worry because we are not carrying that. Continue to follow once you remember and remind yourself. Let us do 3 times now. With the breath going in, aim 3 times. Aims 3 times when the breath comes out. Just continue with the practice 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 3 times we are doing now. Continue with that. Three times. Three times. The last 4 times. But you're saying, chanting aim, 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 aim with the same ease, with the breath going in, with the breath coming out. From one time is in which the breath, mind follows the breath. And further down, you may say the breath follows the mind. But the mind should be new, which says aim gently, maybe with an awareness on the forehead, or on the bead, or inside the heart. It does not matter. As you start increasing the number of chanting in one breath, it generally takes a couple of months, and once you reach up to 9 with the same ease, as if it is a play and a fun. Not to talk about 700 pages book, but even 1,000 pages book. Your perception becomes so subtle and clear. When it becomes subtle and clear, it does not become the guest house of all the influences that comes from outside. And we become a new person. And doing nothing, remain as you are. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. In this tradition, we say, when we are eating, taking any drink, we generally say, the self within me. I pray to the self within me to accept the tea, accept the food within. Thinker by default attaches with the taste, with the desire, with the craving. So open your eyes. The break is done. Let us meet at 11:15. Again, Uksana tea.